Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Monday morning? This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you guys can hear me fine. I was just double checking the mic. Definitely is working. Hope it is anyway. Oh, I seem to be off camera there. That's a bit odd. Yeah, definitely a bit faded. I'll blame the weather, actually, to be fair, here. But yes, I'm officially back today. And I wasn't really planning to do a good morning show, but I thought, considering that I have been out of the loop on news and politics for a whole week, I think it would be good for me to go through some of the headlines and whatnot to kind of gauge and see what's happening. I just want to point some things. I just want to clarify some things very, very important for those who are coming in. I have not watched any YouTube channels. I have not seen any articles. I've not seen any clips, any stuff. Like I've been completely switched off from politics last week. So if you bring something up that happened last week or something big, I'm not aware of it because I've been completely out of the loop. And I haven't seen any of the live streams, not even like I've been busy doing wrestling content, believe it or not, and I've still got some to do today. But last week was fun, but it was also very stressful. So I'll just run through a couple of things before we do the usual stuff here. Trips, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm officially back today. So couple things first before I get to some other things. So at the moment, I was planning to do Rumble and Patreon content for the week. I may not do that. I may just leave it for this week and then restart next week on that, possibly. So I may hold off on that just because I've got so many other things going on right now. So I may just shelf that content for now. I will get out the short videos for you guys today. That's going to be for the next couple of days. I'll be back to 4 a week. 4 a day, sorry. 4 a day. They'll be coming back out 4 a day because the numbers are definitely, as I expected, the channel numbers dropped as I expected to while I was going on a holiday, so that will be back. As for whether I'll publish any main content videos, I might just hold off on them just for now, just to kind of get my bearings on things, because I think what I need to do more is read up more on things that have been happening before I can really get my engage back in again. So I'm going to leave main videos for now, and for most of this week I may even leave it all this week. I'm just going to focus on doing short videos and live streams for you guys, and that's the best way I can engage with you guys and whatnot. And it's a bit less time constraint. It's a much less time constraint on me as well, because there are a lot of things that there's a lot of wrestling content I still need to finish up, and I want to make sure I clear that up in the next couple of days, so I don't have that on me, so that I can get back to focusing on this channel and focusing on news and politics and kind of get engaged with what's been happening, guys. So that's essentially my plan. So tomorrow there'll be 2 live streams. There'll be the short videos, and same again on Wednesday. As for whether I'll do any main videos, I don't know, but I'm probably going to leave Patreon Rumble till next week, guys. Probably going to do that there. You missed nothing. Nothing happened at all. In fact, very, very boring. Well, that means something definitely happened, Trip, if you said that. Doc Dave, it's good to see you there. I hope you are doing well. So just a couple of other things. So I went to Glasgow. As I said before, I went on a holiday. I went to Glasgow, arrived at Glasgow Central Station. Me and my partner literally got off the train, and the first person we see was Dave McGuinness. And I honestly didn't clock in that it was Dave McGuinness because I had a banging headache. I was tired, and it just didn't clock in my head at all that it was him. Obviously, him saying "Welcome to Scotland" was the first thing he said to me. It just didn't ring in my mind at all. But yeah, 5 hours on a train is not very good. Yes, not very good. But anyway, had a nice chat with him. It's nice to talk to him about stuff, not just news and politics. Talking about Glasgow and Scotland and all kind of stuff like that, which was nice. So it's nice to spend a little time, some time with him. Unfortunately, I did not get to make time for Jenny ran Scottish History or Akismad as well, because it was just not, they just couldn't make it happen, unfortunately, guys. So unfortunately I didn't get a chance to see them. Hopefully next year, when I'm planning on coming up to Scotland, we're going to be hitting Glasgow anyway, so hopefully we can perhaps meet up there, possibly. So we'll have to wait until then. But yeah, I had a great time in Glasgow. Pretty much, you have to bear in mind, we're only there for a few days. We went to a lot of museums, lots of places. Really, really lovely, wonderful city. Don't think there was anything bad about it at all. No, not that crossed my mind anyway. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had 3 back-to-back wrestling shows. So obviously last night I was at a wrestling show. We didn't get home till just before midnight. So if my voice is a little bit battered, that might be the reason. But yeah, it's been a very, very good, very, very long week. But I got to meet a lot of wrestlers as well. And I finally met her after all these years as well, which was very nice as well. So very good week indeed. But today I want to try and get back into the groove of things as much as I can and try and finish up wrestling content. But we are going to run through everything. Like I said, this is Good Morning Reganelite. This only runs for an hour, and we already have less than 53 minutes left to go. And Dolly is moaning by the door. Don't know why. Probably wants some attention. I'm not going to let her in. The missus has gone out for the day. So let's start. What I'm going to do, guys, we're going to do daily quota. Then we're going to go straight into the BBC weather instead of me doing it from the phone. And then we'll have a look at all the news for you guys. So today's daily quota is from the 25th of August here, from Sarah Bain Breathnach. Sarah Bain Breathnach there. I don't know if you can see that there. There it is there. And it says, be grateful for the home you have, knowing that at this moment, that is all you have is all you need. Be grateful for the home you have, knowing that this moment, all you have is all you need. Well, we always want a little bit more, normally, don't we? Normally, we always want a little bit more in life. Tomorrow's one's a very nice, touching one. I like tomorrow's one. But you have to join me tomorrow if you want to see that one, guys. If you want to see me that one. So let's go straight into it. Let's have a look and see what's happening on the weather report, guys. How is the weather looking? I think it's going to be quite warm today. Actually, I'm already feeling the heat here, believe it or not. So this is today, Monday. Later on today, guys, this is the temperatures. If we actually just zoom out a little bit, you can see the rest of Europe there. And some parts of Europe are obviously much warmer there in terms of temperatures. This is 7 o'clock tonight is what they are. But as we can see here, and you can see it on the left-hand side there, we've got a bit of a storm brewing here. And that storm will, if I just go to long forecast here, if I just scroll along, and you can see over the next couple of days, you're going to see bits of showers. And by Wednesday, some of it's Wednesday and Thursday, you're going to hit bits of showers here and there. So yeah, pretty much later on in the week is we're going to get some showers, that is for sure. But depending on where they hit, it varies, of course. Good morning, Scott Hayes. Good to see you there. I hope you're doing well. So just zoom in, see what some of the temperatures are. Very warm. And like I said, I can already feel the heat right here. So later on, expect to be temperatures as high as 23, 24 degrees in some places. That's very, very warm. London, 24. Brighton, 20. Portsmouth, 20. Swansea, Bournemouth there, 20, 21 respectfully. Weymouth, 20. I'm just going to add to see if there's quite a lot. But see what the wind is like as well. I just want to have a look at the wind as well, just as a curiosity. Yeah, winds a little bit higher in down in this parts as they normally are anyway. 20, 21, 19 degrees here. Not as bad as other parts of England there, we can see in those temperatures, but still 19, 20, 22 degrees, not too bad there for the south of Wales. And with Wales and Davis, 18 there, not too bad. But North of Wales 20, 21 there. But as you can see here, guys, you're going into the Midlands later on today. My God, 24, 25 degrees. That is warm. That is warm. There we can see there the temperatures there. 24, 25. Very, very warm. Kingsley on Norwich 23, 21 respectfully as well there. Moving a bit further up into the north. Ellie, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. Moving up further up into the north of England here. You got Wigan 26 degrees, Castleford 26, Hull 25, Horsey 22 degrees there. Really high temperatures there. Hayes 23, Richmond 24, Darlington 25 there. Moving further up if we can into the north of England, into the south of Scotland here. It was a long train ride here to Scotland, that's for sure. 20, 21, 18 degrees there in some temperatures. Glasgow, Edinburgh, 21, 22. I never got any rain during my time in Glasgow, and it was fairly warm. It was very, very warm, fairly warm there for me. Billy Kershaw, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. 22, 21 degrees respectively there. Dundee, 23. Oban at 19, Fort Williams 20 there. Stonehaven 17, Aberdeen 17 there, and Inverness 23 degrees. Yeah, some high temperatures are expected later there. Now, if we go scroll up to 1 o'clock on Tuesday tomorrow. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock, there is a few spots of showers here and there that people or Scotland might get. Fort Williams is going to get hit with 1 or 2 pitches from the looks of it there. So you may get some trickles of showers around. Probably expecting it to be mainly a cloudy day, more likely, based on the forecast there from the looks of it here. Temperatures 18, 20 degrees. There's still not bad temperatures there. 18, 16 there, Dunbar 20, but yeah, some spotty showers here and there around the south of Scotland there. Heading into the north of England there's still some of those spotty showers, but still temperatures 21, 20 degrees, not too bad temperatures there. Spots of rain again there. Temperatures a bit lower. Are they much higher in the evening? No, they're not too high in the evening as well. So temperatures dipping a little bit tomorrow, which is good in some parts, which is really, really necessary because it's been way too warm there. North of Wales, 19, 18 degrees. So not bad at all. Not too much there. South of Wales there we can see 19, 20 to 20 degrees there. Cardiff 20 there. So they're not too bad in comparison to, once again, England and the Midlands here, 20, 21, 22. In some places, they're still very warm. 23, Peterborough, Kingsley on. Norwich, 24. That's very, very warm. Their temperatures there. Colchester, 23. Oxford, 23. Moving a bit further down. London is 22. But that could differentiate between the numbers there for tomorrow. So it's still very, very warm here. Brighton, 20. Portsmouth, 21. If we just move a little bit further down here, 19 at 20 degrees respectively there in those areas there for tomorrow on Tuesday. Let's have a look at Wednesday, and then we will have a look at some of the news. So this is Wednesday. Oh, and you can see on the screen already there is a big puddle of shower coming along, guys. 21 degrees when tomorrow, Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock is roughly what estimates. But still modest temperatures to between 19, 20, 21 degrees in some parts there. As you can see, big blob of shower. So rain is going to be coming over the next couple of days if you haven't already sussed it out. So yeah, Wednesday, do take a brolly with you. 17 degrees in some parts, 18, 17, 15 degrees down here in the south of England. So they're not going to be too bad. But obviously, like I said, you're going to need your coat. Cardiff, 18, 17, 18. Real drop in temperatures in parts there, which is much needed. The temperatures have been far too warm for my liking, that's for sure. So I think the temperature drop is a welcoming boost in my opinion. Kingsley on there, and Norwich still 22 degrees. They're still getting quite warm temperatures there. 21, still 21, 22 can sometimes feel very, very warm there. There you can see, like I said, the big line of shower coming through there. Blackpool, Preston, they're very, very warm. 16, 17 degrees there. 20, 21 degrees there. North of England to the south of Scotland there. Temperatures there, you can see some as low as 16, 15, 19 there. 17, 19 in Glasgow and Edinburgh respectfully there. Dunbar 19, Oban 16, Dundee 19, Fort William 17, Aberdeen, Stonehaven 16, 17 respectfully there. Inverness at 20 degrees. But yeah, if you just look at it, just zoom out a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna slowly start breaking up as the day passes there, for that one. So that is the weather report for today. Right, so we have a look and see what's going on in the news, guys. What has been happening in the news? I've been out of the loop for a long time, so let's dive into it together, shall we? So, The Guardian, what have they got here? West Streeting criticises short-sighting drug firms for rejecting price and offer. The Health Secretary said he will not let patients be ripped off by pharmaceutical companies amid a standoff. Is this just face value, or is there actually something to this? Health Secretary said he will not let... has intensified his battle with drug companies over the price of their products, saying he will not let the industry rip off British patients and taxpayers by signing up to demands. He's accused pharmaceutical companies of being short-sighted, undermining their relationship with the government after the two sides failed to come to an agreement last week. They want more money. Of course they do. Sorry, I'm just drinking some water, guys. Streeting walked away from talks with the Association of British Pharmaceutical Industry on Friday after the industry groups failed to agree to a government proposal of how much their revenue should be capped over the next 3 years. The dispute centres on voluntary schemes under which the NHS sets its budget for branded medicines, and companies agrees to pay back any revenues they make go beyond that amount. The scheme is designed to prevent their health service costs spiralling out of control, yeah, of course, but it's been under review in recent months and it's proved more expensive than drug companies were expecting. The latter agreement leaves the government in a standoff with drug makers just as it begins its 10-year plan to reshape the NHS, and only 2 months after identifying life science as one of the 8 high-growth industries at the heart of the industrial plans. Pharmaceutical industry shined up to the pricing deal with the previous government when it came out more expensive to the industry than expected. We put forward an unprecedented offer to bring down payment rates for all future years of the scheme and accelerate growth in the sector, but the ABPI failed to reach an agreement. This was short-sighted and undermines our efforts to work collaboratively. I won't allow Big Pharma to rip off our patients or taxpayers. Life science are a great British success story. We want the NHS not only to benefit from the revolution in life science and medical technology, but to drive it. We remain committed to building an equity partnership with the sector to be able to deliver for our economy and society. Still, part of me here, I just feel like a part of me does feel like that perhaps it does feel like a part of me feels face value from West Stream, because I don't trust the guy. They declined to comment. Its chief executive said on Friday, we need to reach a solution to improve patients' access to future innovation. As it does not require required as much industry does not require the industry to pay back nearly 3 times as much of its revenues as it required in European countries. The scheme, launched in 2023, places a cap on how much NHS can increase its spending on branded medicine each year. Companies can then pay a rebate on revenues they make above that cap. When it was first agreed, the government forecast that drug companies will face a rebate of 15% a year, but the NHS has spent far more than expected on such medicine, leaving the industry facing a rebate rate of about 23%. Streeting has proposed a series of changes to the scheme that would have made it around £1 billion cheaper over the next 3 years. The drug companies claim that the savings are dwarfed by the amounts that they're having to give back to the government in that period, which are forecast to be around about £13.5 billion. They have warned that they will have to move drug trials and jobs out of the UK unless ministers commit to spending more on the NHS budget on medicines. What? They're already spending enough. Tom Keith Roach, president of Alcazar, said the UK was in a long-term race to the bottom. He added, as a life science investor, very difficult for global ballrooms. Okay. Just a bit of argumentary back and forth there. Yeah, it's that's very concerning. Obviously, if we don't get that agreement, obviously we don't want jobs being taken away from the UK at the same time. But if the health secretary if this is true, and obviously I do think it's really important to try and keep the drug prices down. We don't want to end up like America. We really, really don't want to end up like America there. I think that's a big, very, very concern there. So, what's been happening in terms of this lot? UK MPs voiced alarm at rise in online abuse over immigration debate. After further demonstrations at hotels housing asylum seekers, MPs say harassment is worse than during Brexit. Well, that's because, they're buying into what Nigel Farage is saying. MPs have raised the alarm about rising link abuse to debates around immigration, with some reports of level of online harassment and death threats worse than during the Brexit years. The warnings come after weekends of protests and counter-protests at hotels used to house asylum seekers. 15 people arrested on Saturday and demonstrations continuing into Sunday. One female member of parliament who asked to remain anonymous said she had this weekend reported an online rape, a threat linked to her support for asylum seekers to the police. Shipley's Labour MP Anna Dixon said she had received more death threats after the Conservative MP for Keighley-Larkin, Robbie Moore, shared misleading information about her stance on grooming gangs. See, I've said this before, right? I've said this before. I'm going to take the hat off, guys. Sorry. I like the hat too. I've said this before about how important language matters and how you use that language. And it is not just about what they say, but how they say it. And it's quite clear, like, the Conservatives are following way too much of Reform UK. And they still have, I'm going to assume that they have not changed one bit while I've been away, that they still think that they can somehow out-reform, when they don't realise that they are becoming anonymous. They're becoming irrelevant because they're just sticking to the same old. Like, if Kemi Baganotte is still going to be Conservative leader at the next general election, she's going to get a right thumping. At least how things stand right now. They're going to get a right thumping. Like, I can see Reform taking more from the Conservatives than I do Reform taking from Labour. Because they're just they're not giving an alternative. They're just being the same. Like, this kind of stuff is just not helpful. The lambasting we're getting on social media and inbox is grim from both sides. It's like we can't do right for doing wrong, and everything has become frighteningly polarised. It is. Few people see us as individual humans that we are, especially women's mums, sisters and daughters. It's really changed ever since I came into the house. It's worse than Brexit. In fact, I could cope with that better. Another veteran Labour MP backed up her comments by saying, in their experience, hostility towards politicians is now worse than it's ever been. Yeah, it's because of Reform UK. And it's because of Reform UK, the gaslighting of them. They've been gaslighting people, and you're getting it from influencers, all sorts of people. It's been consistent gaslighting. They should have done something about. They can do something about this. The government. There's been some unpleasant abuse. One person recently asked why I was hosting support, and like this is the thing, because there's been one or two incidents or cases. It's just been reinforced in their head that they're all the same. It's pure racism. These people don't understand, that not everyone is the same. Is the same. This is the thing that really infuriates me more than anything. They think that everyone who supports immigrants or asylum seekers and whatnot are racists or are supporters of child rapists, which is just nonsense, absolute nonsense. We're talking about one or two people, but because it's one or two people and they're lit up all over the media, all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're all the same. No, they're not all the same. And here's the thing, these guys are hypocrites. For all the arguments that they make about immigrants, right? They don't say nothing about white people. They say nothing about the white people breaking the laws, about the white people grooming gangs or anything like that, or the white people who are sexually assaulting people. They're not saying anything about them. But when it comes to migrants, it seems to be a much bigger issue to them. It's pure racism. It's pure racism. It's as simple as that. Carla Denier said abuse she has been said to become noticeably worse in the last few months, escalating in some cases to political violence. As a left-wing and queer woman, MP speaks up frankly in support LGBTs attract a lot of misogyny and homophobic abuse, which I was surprised that sadly feels inedible in the current political environment right now across the UK. Feels more and more emboldened and validated by other political parties dancing to their tune. It doesn't matter how much you disagree with someone, threats and violence are never ever appropriate and they won't silence me. I'm worried an MP's gonna get killed here. It's horrendous that another MP was having to live with daily lies about asylum seekers and HMQs, which are entirely fabricated and leading up to a surge of anger and fear. Yeah, it is. This is the problem here. They all think that this is the big problem, but the mainstream media are just as responsible for this as it is the people who gaslight it, because they don't call it out enough. Like, they know it's gaslighting, but the problem is that for a lot of the mainstream media, it's good quality content for them because it gets people watching their screens. That's the worst thing about it. I've received death threats in the last 6 months. The misogyny and the hate really hasn't stopped since I was elected last year. Also feels like it's been pretty insane. It's consistent. Many of the MPs have voiced concerns about risk remain anonymous, fearing they retract further abuse. They spoke publicly about the issue. So what are we planning to do about this? Threats to MPs don't come from anywhere. This weekend there is also a campaign to put up Union Jacks and St George's flags across the country, gathering pace according to anti-establishment campaign. Should raise the colours of being a partly. Yeah, so before I went on holiday, I was hearing about I heard about the street signs. So it sounds like to me that this has not stopped the whole putting flags on lampposts. The only problem is that the morons who are doing it don't realise is that that's public. You can't put a flag on a lamp pole. You're not allowed to. It's dangerous. Like if you want to put a flag outside your house, go right ahead. But yeah, it's a bit stupid, that is. Yeah, Castle Bonway holiday. In Stevenage, a man claimed he was attacked with a petrol bomb in the early hours Saturday morning while hanging flags from lampposts. It appears that the victim was struck by a glass object containing a stain cut to his head. Appealing for anyone with information to come forward. He claimed he was attacked with a petrol bomb in the early hours of Saturday morning while hanging flags from lampposts. Well, why the hell were you Right, okay, well, first of all, like, I'm sorry if you did get attacked in your claim. But secondly, what were you doing hanging flags on lampposts? Dumbass. Government set out plans to introduce fast. They need to just. I think the government needs to like put a clamp down on this, basically saying no flags on lampposts. They just need to put a clamp. They need to They need to kind of just reinforce that message to saying they can't do it. Yeah, we cannot carry on with completely unacceptable delays. It doesn't matter what. Like, it's gotten to a point, it doesn't matter what the Labour government does. Because people will not, doesn't matter what the numbers they put out, no matter how many people they get rid of, it makes no difference at this point now to them. Like, even if they succeeded, they cleared the majority of the backlogs and whatnot, people will still buy into it, that there's not enough being done. Violent threats, yep, yeah. This is a big problem. These people are so messed up, and the sad reality, it's a lot of, you can see it's a lot of quite a lot of our white older people. And you notice how you never see any other people. You only see always white people as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've not seen many black people in these protests as well. Home Office to overhaul asylum appeal systems as they try to clear the backlog. Labour to abolish short prison sentences in England and Wales. Legislature to abolish most short prison sentences, toughen up community punishment, and introduce a text-inspired system where inmates can earn early release as part of an attempt to avert another prison crisis. Yeah, this is what I said. Like, forcing them to do community work. Forcing prisoners to do community work, that would be much, much better. That would be a much better idea. Good morning, Alston Keir. Good to see you there. It's intimidating people in the flags getting put up Reganelite like 1930s. They're taking it way too seriously. They're buying in. I'm sorry, but people are really stupid. People are really stupid. They're buying into it so badly. They really do think everything is doom and gloom. It's really not. Government also said the legislation to bring out the biggest shake-up in sentencing law in England and Wales for 3 decades would be introduced once MPs return to Commons in September. The shared was conscious of the needs to implement the change quickly before prisons have another capacity crunch next summer. Yeah. Sentencing would be introduction for initiative scheme or early progression model for prisoners serving long. Fixed sentences to earn early release for good behaviour. Yeah, I have no problem with this. If they are working to contribute to get out early, I think that's a good thing. Like community work, that kind of stuff. If you can tie that in, that's a good thing. Criminals, including some violent ones, will be able to earn release after serving between a third and a half of their sentence, although most dangerous criminals will be convicted. Terror-related offenders will be excluded. The scheme will be modelled on a system placed in Texas, with Mohammed visiting earlier this year. The bill will also end short-term sentences of less than 12 months, barring exceptional circumstances, with ministers arguing that they are counterproductive and a driver for most crime. Latest day release suggests that the prison cohort of July September 2023, 62% of inmates released after serving sentence. Less 62%. Yeah, this is a problem. 62% of inmates released after serving sentences of less than 12 months went on to re-offend. That is a big problem. 62%. That's far too high. I even think personally, it should. Personally, the number should be down in the 10%. Personally. Yeah, that needs to change. That's a big problem. Government also plans to toughen up community punishment by giving courts greater flexibility to impose fines, seize assets, and introduce bans on travel, driving, and attending football matches. Yep, these are all good things. Fines doesn't seem to work. They just kind of just sit there on the fines. But yeah, some of these ideas I think are much better. Seizing assets, introducing bans on travel, driving, banning them from football matches if you find out that they're regular football season ticket holders. Obviously, banning them from football, that would be a big one there for them as well. Like if it's someone who's consistently been convicted and consistently goes to football matches, that person should be just banned from all football games, all football stadiums. Unpaid work, where councils will be able to assign jobs to offenders such as filling potholes and removing graffiti. Yep. That sounds like a good idea. Suspended sentences are to be allowed for up to 3 years instead of 2, and will be used to more low-risk offenders with high needs, such as pregnant women with women sustaining abuse problems. Yep. The bill will include measures to limit movements of sexual and violent offenders police by pinning them down specific restriction zones. Police using technology enhanced tagging. The ministers will also plan plans to deport most foreign criminals immediately after conviction instead of 30% the way through their sentencing. Critics argue this would allow them to evade punishment. The problem is that people keep saying we have too many foreign criminals. So what do you do in that situation? If they want to increase the number. One will propose a voluntary chemical castration system for sex offenders. They're exploring the prospect of making it mandatory. The program is piloted on 2 regions. Plan for change. Yada yada yada. Okay, interesting. So there are some benefits to. It does sound like the right thing to do, because they need to do something. That's for sure. It's a big problem. The prison sentences, prisons being overcrowded. So they need. I did say obviously rehabilitation is, because what we don't want is people getting released and then reoffending again. That's a big problem. But like I've said this in the past, guys, it's down. You've got to tie a lot of people's situations to the cost of living as well. It's not just a case that people are crazy, or people are breaking the law because they want to. Some people have absolutely nothing. Labour MP receives death threats after Tory MP shares video on grooming gangs inquiry. UN special reporter will contribute to Gaza tribunal, Jeremy Corbyn says Francesca will take part in events seeking answers for the. Yeah, it's an unofficial one that I think I saw this just before I went on holiday, that they're doing an unofficial one. UN special reporter will contribute to a 2-day tribunal being held by Jeremy Corbyn excuse me, into Britain's role in war crimes perpetrated in Gaza. The former Labour leader said Corbyn is campaigning a new political party with the working title Your Party. Said the event will take place in early September. His private member's bill for an official inquiry into UK's involvement in Israeli Gaza was blocked by the government at its second reading in July. It said the Peace and Justice Project founded by Corbyn is holding a 2-day event called Gaza Tribunal. A website dedicated to the event said it will examine Britain's role in war crimes perpetrated in Gaza by hearing from experts and witnesses and establishing the full scale of our government's complicity in the genocide against the Palestinian people. On Saturday, Corbyn told an audience at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe that Francesca Alba will be offering her views to the hearing. She told the event that this tribunal would seek answers on the use of the RAF Akini Air Base around the war in Gaza, as well as other issues. Yep. We invite people to make submissions, lawyers and others, and voices from Gaza and the West Bank and other places to want to put forward the views on their policy. So Habermas was very keen to support and get involved, comparing this even to the Chinook inquiry into the Iraq War. The problem is that it's not an official one by the government, so whether it's the problem is it's not going to have a lot of merit. That's the only issue with it on that. So let's just have a look at the front of the UK. UK mothers earning £302 a week less than fathers, analysis has showed. Australia worse for plastic bags as total single-use sale rises for the first time. Near perfect landing, hot air balloon guided down on to Bedford Street. Okay. Minister's vows to give sexual violence victims the justice they deserve. Okay. Kevin Backernot reveals hysterical levels of personal attacks faced as a black woman. She's surprised the amount of racism she's experienced since taking up the post. Well, she shouldn't be suffering. She shouldn't be. The racist abuse is completely and totally unacceptable. It really is. But she is a dumbass as well. I think we can all agree with that. Yeah, but the racist stuff is unacceptable. Should not be. Language should be used at all. So let's have a look at some other headlines, guys. Good to see some of you, some familiar faces there. Hope you guys are all doing well. I'm still a little bit tired from the last couple of days, understandably. Starmer facing mounting pressure over immigration, as MP says. Far right emboldened. A reminder: I'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. for the Reganelite viewpoint. So if you guys want to join me for that, feel free to do so. Shoplifter figures show almost 800 offences a day go unsolved. That's really bad. Ban passengers playing loud music on public transport, say Tories. So, I've been taking a few buses lately, and I have to say, you know what? If I'm somebody who's on the bus regularly, and I don't have my headphones with me, and I don't want to listen to music, I just want a bit of peace and quiet on the bus, and people are playing loud music, playing music or whatnot, or looking at their phone. The one thing, it's music I can't stand. I can't stand that people, like we were travelling home last night on the bus, because we had to get 2 buses home from where we were, from the O2 Arena, and it drove me like it really angered me that people were playing videos on their phones and they didn't have headsets on. And it's just like, for me, it's just like can you not play music at this time of night when some people have just got, like, some people just want to get home out of respect? Like, it's like, really, just get headphones. So I'm kind of in agreement with the Tories on this at this point. Yeah, it needs it. Get some headphones if you want to listen to stuff. Otherwise, don't piss off everybody else. It's the message that I have. Yeah, just shopping stuff. I might do a short video on that. What else? Let's have a look at the front of the UK here. Helicopter crashes on the Isle of Wight. Oh God. Oh, I'm sure we'll get more storm noise on that as time goes on. My condolences for anyone's lost their lives there. Witchy Golf, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. It was very good, thank you. My voice is a bit banged up, understandably. Starmer faces mounting pressure over immigration. MPs say far right emboldened. He needs to do something. He needs to do something, because they're getting away with it right now. 3 children taken to hospital after being hit by a car as they played on the pavement. How on... They played on the pavement. How did they get hit? Was it a drunk driver? I hope not. I get annoyed. I don't understand. I know kids can be a bit silly sometimes, but my God, I hate seeing that. Guys, make sure you check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel. I will contact you at some point. Witcher, you are on my bucket list of people. Miraflor, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. And anybody else lurking as well. So what else we got here? Getting ready for fracking reform. UK tells energy firms. Yeah, we don't want that. Government's plans to overhaul asylum appeal system. Pubs and travel bans proposed under... What is this? Pubs and travel bans? No, I'm fine, thank you. So people convicted of crimes in England and Wales could find themselves banned from going to pubs and sports machines as part of the changes to sentencing rules. That would be pretty strong. That would be pretty strong. Courts imposing community sentences would have the power to hand out driving and ban trans under legislation to be introduced next month. Yeah, I didn't see in the other piece about pubs. Yeah, sport matches. Yeah, we saw that in the other one, sports matches. Yeah, that could really hurt them. The pubs. What the feck is this? Clarkson for PM. Attacks on police dogs. Department positions make a difference. Farage vows mass deportations to tackle small boats. Yeah, of course you say that. You say that all the time, mate. Home Office seeks to appeal on the court ruling. Why? Why? The government is seeking the right to appeal against which blocks asylum seekers been. Why? What the hell's wrong with them? Can he not see that this is the place where it all kicked off? It makes all the sense in the world to move them from there. Why is the government wanting to fight this case? The government should just accept the fines and move them out of the goddamn hotel. Put them somewhere else. It's not safe for them to be there. The court reviews a last-minute effort from the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper to intervene and get the council case dismissed. If successful, its new bid to be involved, the government is then expected to consider a full appeal against the ruling itself. So the government was committing to closing all asylum hotels, but said it needed to happen in a properly managed way. No, you're missing the bigger. She's missing the point here. This specific case here is this specific case here. Okay, this specific case here has had people who have been found to allegedly have been committed these atrocities. Right. Now the problem is because they came from this hotel. Everyone who originally came from this hotel is being branded the same thing. And that's why this hotel needs to go. And they all need to be moved. I'm sorry if they don't like it. But their safety, the police's safety, and the protesters' safety, both protesters and anti-protesters, migrants and anti-migrants protesters, their safety needs to be paramount here. And as long as there are asylum seekers in this hotel, everyone's health and safety here is at risk. It makes I'm sorry, but the government are wrong to hold on to this hotel. They're wrong to hold on to it. The health and safety of people is the number one priority here. 6 new members join Reform UK's party board. Oh, how many of them are former Conservatives then? Reform UK has 6 new members to the party. Dame Andrea Joseph Paul Nutton, former UKIP members of the European Parliament. Reform chairman. ... Okay, some UKIP members. Okay. I was a trainee driving instructor 15 years ago. I generally don't understand why our driving standards are so poor nowadays. People are getting lazy, I think is probably it. Martin, good to see you there. I hope you're doing well. No worries, Martin. Thanks for popping in. Person in personnel, good morning to you too. Yeah, you're still morning. You're still morning here, so you're all right. UK's third largest steelworks collapsed into government control. UK's third largest steelworks has been placed under government control, creating an uncertainty future for nearly 50,000 workers in Rotherham and Sheffield. Insolvency courts granted compulsory winding up orders sought by creditors owed hundreds of millions of pounds by Specialist Streets UK as part of the Liberty Steel's metals empire. Controversial tycoon. The company which used to scrap metal and manufacture steel will now be placed in the hands of the official receiver, the government's appointed liquidator, and special managers consultancy firm Technio. The government has agreed to cover the ongoing wages and costs of the plant while the buyer is sought. Following the High Court decision on Thursday, Liberal Chief Transformation Officer called the BBC is really disappointed as he thought they presented a very good case. We are by far the best company to run this business. We ran it for 10 years. Put a lot of blood, sweat and tears and money into it, he said. Lawyers for Mr. Cooper had applied for a 4-week adjournment for time to place the company in a pre-packed administration which allows for insolvent companies to sell its assets to bidders. He wanted funding from investment giant BlackRock and Fidia, which invests in distressed companies, to buy back the business. Winding up the country, his lawyers argued, could place the business in free fall and incur significant disruption, costs and risks to nationally imported steel and its tariffs. The judge found the firm was hopelessly insolvent with £600,000 in the bank. Monthly wage bill of £3.7 million, supposedly by a parent group that has 15 entities in sovereignty proceedings across 9 jurisdictions. Lawyers for the creditors, Ryan Puck, argue UK steelmaking would be better served if the company's steel assets were sold off with assistance from independent special managers acting on behalf of the government after it is wound up, rather than allowing administrators appointed by Mr. Cooper to conduct the process. Libby Steel's finances were upended when its main leader collapsed, owning billions of investors, including UBS. Those investors are part of the creditors group that applied for the winding up petition. Plans to place SS UK in administration to immediately buy it out again. You'll have to buy the company to larger shed those debts. As Cabal said, the company was still hopeful they could buy SS UK back due to BlackRock and others supporting it. In court, creditors highlight how SS UK had not published financial statements since 2019 as part of a directive parent company based in Singapore. Government remains committed to bright and sustainable future steelmaking in the UK. Something tells... I know my voice is a bit banged up, but for fuck's sake, yeah. The government could have done something about this. They could have done something about this. Crackdown on child benefit claims from abroad after £17 million saved. What? The government's planning to crack down on people who continue to claim child benefit after leaving the UK, and the move that expects to save £350 million in the next 5 years. Okay, well, look, I understand the needs of child benefit, but you should not be claiming it if you're abroad. Yeah, after leaving the UK. Yeah, this needs to happen. Yeah, this needs to clamp down on this. Yeah, next month, more than 200 people. Team of 15 investigators stopped around 17 million being paid incorrectly out in less than 12 months. 17 million, wow. The government hopes the move will raise awareness for the rules to avoid people continuing to claim the benefits by mistake when they are abroad for an extended period. Child benefits, one of the most widely accused forms of benefits in the UK, paid to more than 6.9 million families. It is understood that the government is now planning to look at other benefits that people are claiming overseas to see if money can be clawed back. There are some people obviously I don't know how much circumstances where there are cases abroad where people still need to claim UK benefits. I don't know enough about them, but obviously people who are using it that they don't need it obviously need to, stop paying for it. Claimants must inform HMRC if they go abroad for more than 8 weeks after their length of time, as they will no longer be eligible for the benefit unless there are exceptional circumstances. Yeah. Time limit for going abroad for medical treatment due to the death of families is 12 weeks. Government's putting a stop for people claiming benefits when they aren't eligible to do so. Matched on random sample about 200,000 child benefits records from international travel data. Interesting. Yeah, this is a very interesting one. It's a very interesting story. SP resigns from Tories over reactionary politics. Anything else worth looking at? No. I think we'll leave that there because we do have a couple of other stories. I do want to look at other papers today if I can help it. Independent here. Just a reminder, we stop at 12 o'clock, guys, all the time. I don't go further than that. I will be going live later on at 8 o'clock today. As for content, there'll be short videos. I'm not planning to do any Rumble or Patreon as of right now. I may do some next week, but that's about the best I can do because my voice is still a bit banged up. It's going to take me a while for it to get back to its normal self because I went to 3 wrestling shows in a row, including last night. So, understandably, my voice is a little bit... Yeah. Journalists among 19 killed in Israeli strike on Gaza hospital, officials say. So, no ceasefire then. I'm not surprised. People still dying. I'm not surprised. Is people still dying of malnutrition, guys? I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't know if more food is getting in or not. If anyone wants to clarify, I'd appreciate it in the comments. True cost of UK's obesity crisis revealed. How weight loss jabs could be the answer. No, I'm not in favour of weight loss jabs. I'm not in favour of them. I'm not in favour of them. I think there are other ways to do it. Labour vows to fast track asylum appeal on second day of protest. France summoned US envoy over unacceptable anti-Semitism allegations. Interesting. Let's have a look and see what top of UK politics here. France dances in fur coat Clacton Pier in a bizarre AI rap video. It's an AI rap video. Why is this the head? Why is this front page? This is only benefiting Farage here. Why is this front page news on UK politics? This is not UK politics news. Raina faces questions after purchasing third property in Hove. Does she really face questions, or is it just people going after her just for the sake of it? She purchased 800 seaside apartment home. Third home. Yeah, I don't know too much about that story. That's a yeah. I don't like people having multiple homes. It does give questions there. Minister discussed a deal to give Chat GPT Plus to all UK residents. What? Peter Carlson Alman said to have discussed a deal that would give the whole country access to ChatGPT's premium service. What? The boss of the firm behind ChatGPT offered to sell Britain's premium access to the AI tool. Multi-billion-pound deal discussed with the technology secretary is being reported. Recently spoke to Peter Carr about the potential to give UK residents access to its advanced product. Two sources familiar with the meeting told the Guardian the idea was floated as part of a wider talks about OpenAI working with the government during a visit to Mr. Carr to San Francisco. The deal will cost up to $2 billion. Mr. Carr really took the discussion and Mr. Carr never really took the discussion seriously, the Guardian reported. The talks showed that the technology sector is enthusiasm for AI despite its concerns over the accuracy, technology as well as copyright and privacy. Yeah, that's a problem as well. ChatGPT is normally free for users, but OpenAI offers a paid version for $20 a month, which gives quicker responses and early access to new features. Signing a deal that would allow public service to use AI technology in non-binding agreement that could allow firms to access the government's data. See the software used in areas such as defense, education, security, and justice system. I mean, I use Grok. I was using a bit of Grok before I went on a holiday, and I'm gonna try use Grok a bit more because it's free. He asked ChatGPT why small businesses in the UK were slow to adopt AI records. AI records show. I mean, the thing is free. Like, why do UK residents need to have premium? Like, it's free. If people want it, they can get it. Like, how like, are the features really that beneficial that we should invest $2 billion there? That does sound like something a little fishy. Does sound a little fishy to me, guys. By the way, guys, if you want to financially support me, you can do so by leaving any super chats or join the YouTube membership for as little as 99p. If you guys want to financially support the work that I do, it would be greatly appreciated as well. Winterfield cuts to hit 600,000 disabled pensioners. Analysts fine. Protesters clash outside hotels. Talked a bit about that already. Britons felt safer for trans people in the 90s, says first trans judge. Yeah, that's because it wasn't an issue. That's because people didn't look at them as trans people. They looked at them as people. Whereas now you have you're having people being manipulated into thinking there's something wrong with trans people. Is Labour really failing on asylum, immigration, hostel? You know how many times I've saw like similar questions like this in so many articles and online? It's insane. They say it everywhere. Like, oh, are Labour doing enough on Labour on it? Are doing enough on it? Are they doing enough, guys? Where was journalists among 15 killed in Israel strike in Gaza hospital? Can we have a look at politics, please? Nuclear priest could warn people future about waste under the Irish Sea. Vet Cooper is right to ban Palestine action, says voters, an exclusive from them. The hidden Tory blunder in Epping that sparked the asylum hotel meltdown. Inside plan to target asylum hotels and the counter protest being scrambled. During summer holidays and war trainers so whole so my kids could eat. I hate hearing stories like that. Should not be happening. That should not be happening at all. UK stories. Clashes break out at London's March for Israeli hostages. The second day of unrest. That's not good. How Tommy Robinson makes his money for online donations to book sales. Apparently people pay for Tommy Robinson advice or for his views and whatnot. Like, people actually buy for like videos of him to talk about immigration and whatnot. Man, people really believe in him, and they pay money for him. It's just insane. The Home Office spent 50 million on Simon Centre, and not a single migrant stayed there. Yeah, why did that happen? Can't open any of these links because it's the paper. No end to Bibi on pass despite Labour's criticism. I swear that was last week's one. That was a couple of weeks ago as well. Why have they still got some old stories paper? They really should update, shouldn't they? Got a couple of minutes left. Let's have a quick look at the Financial Times. Starmer brace for last gasp Tory bid to save Heritage peers. No, please don't. Grant Fulton's cuts bulk of UK secretaries. Wealthy UAE residents look to snap up prime London property. This needs to stop. This needs to stop. This is a big problem. This is a big problem with the UK right now. Too many foreigners buying up our properties. This needs to stop. Tougher community penalties to replace short-tailed germs in England. Talked about that earlier. Online ethno nationalism on the rise in UK. Backanox says. KKR back music ear by planned boycotts over removal of Palestine flag. Was this before or after Altman said AI was a bubble? I'm not sure, Bifril. Like I said at the start of the live stream, I've been out of the loop for a whole week. So my brain... So I was kind of relying on you guys for a bit of this week because obviously I've been out of the loop on everything. So it's going to take me a few days for me to get back into the groove. Children in care still being failed on gender ID. Rayner's allies defend hypocritical purchase of second home. Tories to enforce fines for playing loud music on buses and trains. Ban Tommy Robinson's support organises home asylum hotel. Farage calls for two-tier rights to prioritise British citizens. No, that's just racism and you know it. Pressure grows on 7 days. 7 in 10 say PM is handling migration badly. It's the he's not handling it badly. It's just the language around it all. That's the problem. Is Britain heading for a 1976 style IMF bailout? One expert fears. HMRC gets more than 100 complaints a day amid backlog. Thames Water says Thames Water sales to Chinese company may risk national security. It will. It will. That's why it should be nationalised instead of doing that. Let's have a look at the Telegraph. We only got a minute left. Let's just have a quick look at the headlines. Rayner defends buying 800,000 home. Fairground worker who dies after head injury named. Men putting up English flags attacked with firebomb. That's allegedly. There's no video or photos to claim it as far as I'm aware. Cancer patients shunned. Crisis hit NHS to go private. Former Strictly star arrested on suspicion of rape. Duke of York faces Epstein relations in book of accused there. US blocks Ukraine for firing long-range missiles into Russia. Why? Israel strikes a military site in Yemen's presidential palace. Iran willing to reduce uranium enrichment to avoid British sanctions. Trump draws up plans to deploy National Guard in Chicago. He can't. He doesn't have full control. Why would he do that? Ukraine special forces units that crush Putin's surprise advance. Yeah, leave Chicago alone, please. And in fact, actually, leave a lot of places alone is what I have the message I have for Trump there. So just before we go, let me have a quick look, see what you guys are saying in the chat. I knew trans folk in the 1980s. They were able to fit in with alternative music scenes like punk, ska, etc. Just wasn't a big deal then. That's because we didn't have the internet. You didn't have the internet, and you didn't have like these small groups of who wanted to stir up racism, start violence and discrimination. Like, there was those groups there, but they're very small, and they were just ignored and just pushed away, you know, sort of thing. But social media has given them a voice, and they're being amplified by bigger content creators. I think that's where I really think social media is playing a big role in riling things up as well. I really, really do. It's really, really frustrating, to say the least, guys. It really is. New wave scene especially would be considered non-binary these days, says Ellie. Yeah. Right, guys. It's 12 o'clock, so I'm going to leave it there. I want to say thank you guys all for coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. Thank you for if you've watched from start to finish. If you've just popped in and listened, greatly appreciated as well. It's wonderful to see the subscriber count go out, increase a bit while I was away as well. I still would like to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. We've got 4 months to do that, so hopefully if we can do that, it would be greatly appreciated. So if you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. It would be greatly helpful. Do check out other content on the homepage as well. There's lots of great content on there if you haven't seen already. Like I said, I'll be back live tonight at 8 p.m. We'll talk more about stuff then. I'm going to do some short videos, record some a bit later for you guys to get out over the next couple of days. I'll also get them out across the other social media platforms as well for you guys. As for videos, I'm not, like I said at the start of the show. I've got some wrestling content I need to deal with as well. So I want to try and get that done out the way so I can focus and over the next couple of days get back into the groove. So do bear with me as I get back into everything. And like I said, I haven't seen any YouTubers as well. So yeah, I'm very much far behind on stuff, guys. But thank you guys for all coming along. If you can, on your way out, please hit that like button, share it across social media. Do check out Rumble and Patreon, what content I have on there already. It'd be greatly appreciated. You can check it out. It's free to check out as well. Be greatly appreciated. Links down below if you want to join the Discord community or any of my links there. And if you want to financially support me in the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.